My name is Harsh Masne. My SAP ID is 600011980004. Today I am going to present my 4T LSC practical, that is design of an differentiator circuit using op-amp. So for this I am going to use OP07 IC. So what is a differentiator circuit? So an differentiator amplifier is a circuit which produces output voltage that is proportional to the rate of change of applied input voltage. So here the circuit is in inverting configuration, where the inverting input terminal is given to the input supply through a C1 capacitor, and also connected to the output through a feedback resistor, which is RF. Thus this circuit also behaves like a voltage follower. So the output voltage of this circuit is equal to minus C1 into RF into d by dt of V. So from above equation, it indicates that the output is C1 into CF times the differentiation of the input voltage, where the product Ci into Cf is called as a RC time constant of the differentiator circuit. The negative sign indicates that the output is out of phase by 180 degree with respect to the input and output. The ideal differentiator circuit has some of the drawbacks. In this ideal differentiator circuit, there is a problem of instability at a high frequency. Due to this, this produces a noise at the output. So to solve this problem, we'll move to the practical differentiator. So in practical differentiator circuit, uses a resistor RC series in series with the input capacitor R1 and a feedback capacitor in parallel with the feedback resistor RF. Thus it stabilizes the circuit at higher frequencies and also reduces the effect of noise. So let's see the frequency response of this both circuit. So the frequency response of ideal differentiator circuit is as the gain increases. Here the gain increases continuously at a rate of plus 20 dB decade, as you can see here. This increases continuously beyond FB frequency, which further causes stability problem at higher frequencies. So whereas in a practical differentiator circuit, the gain increases at a plus dB decade when the input frequency is less than FB, and decreases at minus 20 dB decade when the input frequency is greater than FB. Thus this 40 dB change in gain is due to the R1 into C1 and RF into CF factors. So for good differentiator, always the input signal time period should be greater than or equal to the RF into CF components, and also the FB frequency should be 10 times greater than the FA frequency. So here FA is a unity gain frequency where the gain becomes 0 in the differentiator circuit, and the FB is a break or a corner frequency where the gain starts to attenuate or decrease, or it decreases. So as you can see here, this is the frequency response of practical differentiator, and the continuously increasing the gain is a ideal differentiator response. So we'll design the practical differentiator circuit. So I will take FA as 1 kilohertz and FB as 10 kilohertz. So assuming C1 as 0.1 microfarad. So as we all know, FA is equal to 1 by 2 pi RF into CF. So the RF becomes 1.6 kilo ohm, and as we know, FB is equal to 1 by 2 pi R into R1 into C1. So the R1 becomes 160 ohm. Assuming that R1 into C1 is equal to RF into CF. So from this we can get a CF value, which we will get is 0.01 microfarad. So and the ROM is at a non-inverting terminal. It is a combination of R1 and parallel combination of R1 and RF, which is will become a 150 ohm. So let's design this circuit on a LT Spice. So we'll take a component OP07, then we'll take a resistors. So here we require, this is my R1, here will be my RF and the RM register. Then we'll require two capacitors, one at the input side, another at the feedback side. So we will take two supplies. And this is the input supply. So let's place the components properly. Okay, connect it. So I am designing a practical differentiator circuit to see its frequency response. So let's connect this. Okay, and now this. Okay, we'll take a ground. Okay, and then this supply. Okay, then we'll put the labels. This is VCC. Okay, this will be my positive supply. We'll also give to this. Okay, now we'll go for negative supply. Okay, so now we'll take our output. This is my output. Okay, and take a input. This will be my input. Okay, so now let's place the components value. So my R1 is 160 ohm, my C1 is 0.1 microfarad. Okay, and my ROM is, which is 150. Okay, so now we'll take R2, which is a feedback resistor. This will be my 1.6 kilo ohm. Okay, and my CF will be 0.01 microfarad. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so now we'll give a supply here. 15 volts, and then here 15 volts. Okay, then we'll give a supply for advance, give a 2 volts peak to peak, then a sine wave 0 offset to 1, and this will be a 50 hertz. Okay, so now let's check all the connection is done properly and the supply. Okay, 50 volts, R2, R1. Okay, so let's simulate it. We'll go for AC analysis, keep in decade for frequency response. So take a steps of 20, then we'll start at 100. Okay, so and we'll end at 500 kilohertz. Okay, so let's simulate it. So this is my Vout. Okay, so now let's. Okay, so you can see that the gain increases at a rate of 20 dB decade till the 10 kilohertz, which is our FB, which is a corner frequency, and at a unity gain frequency becomes 0, which is FA, 1 kilohertz we have taken, and at a 10 and from after 10 kilohertz the gain decreases at a 20 dB decades again, and as the frequency increases further higher and higher, it will again go into the negative gain. So you can see here negative gain. So our frequency response is right. So let's see. So here hence as you can see, hence a practical differentiator act as a high pass filter, and as the low frequencies are attenuated by this circuit. As you can see here, low frequencies are attenuated. So now we'll check for the sine wave, where we get output as a cosine. So let's see this. So sine wave. Okay, we'll take here 0. Okay, and then amplitude 1 volts peak to peak, and here we will go for 200 hertz. Okay, this will be, you can see. Okay, so now, and this will be our now transient response. So I will stop at 100 millisecond, start at 0 millisecond, and I will give a difference of step of 100 microseconds. So okay, so let's see now. So we'll see at input our, so this is my input, then at output we get a cosine wave which starts from minus 0.2 volts. So as we give a input of sine wave, we get a cosine wave. Similarly, if we give a square wave, we get output as a alternating positive and negative spikes, and if we give a triangular waves, we get a output as a square wave. So I have already taken the outputs. I will show to it. So this is my input for triangular waves. So at output I get a square waves, and at square waves, this is my square waves, I get a alternating negative and positive spikes. So this is the end of the practical. Thanks for watching.